Okay.
Cool, man.
Ready?
Mine is simple.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, I set this stuff up about 2 dozen times a year. So.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. Hopefully, people got to be careful.
Just for fun, I'll follow the orange cord and make sure it's.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's good. We're
Sure?
on there. Yep.
Okay.
I think somebody probably realized that
It was
it's.
live, but they're having some issues. Is it live still, or?
Yeah, it's
It is
live
live.
now.
It is live.
Yeah, yeah, people just got to be careful what they're unplugging and.
Yes. I don't know why anyone.
I don't know.
All the excitement is out here. Everybody needs to.
Yeah. Okay. $12.58.
So, if you wanted to go out there and sit for a while until towards the end of the.
Bravo, guys! Woo. Of course, if you'd like to, Roman. I'd be honored, man. Yeah. 12:07. And then as soon as the slideshow gets done, we'll be back live with cameras. Okay? So it's about 18 minutes. So you guys got a little time. Yeah. Yeah, you can take a little nap, feel good. It'll be all good. Oh, good, you found some. Good. $12.57. Okay. 58. And not huge pressure. We only have 7 people watching right now, so that's okay.
When we take a picture, when the seniors come around with their diplomas,
Yeah.
you want me to actually flip
Do a still. Yeah. Yep, that'd be great. So yeah, and you can too right now if you want.
I got
So.
12:58.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
Of course, to me, the big question mark is Nancy. She could be. She was late for a performance at the festival once.
You're kidding me. Oh, I better turn off my ringer.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Make sure you guys' ringers are off too.
And the funny thing is, she told the kids, "You be at the bus by this time." When I was driving the bus, she says, "You guys be at the bus by this time." All on the bus, sitting in. bus go back to the field. What you're listening to is a trumpet processional for the Yellowstone School Board.
don't know what you're feeding on though. I don't know why it's. Just a sec.
Well, guys, we did it. We finally finished high school and will begin the journey of becoming quote-unquote official adults. As a class, we have already been through so much this year despite the COVID-19 outbreak. But with a combined effort with the community administration, we are all able to make this graduation possible, and we want to thank you for all the hard work and effort that everyone put forth into making this a very unique graduation ceremony.
This loop is.
As a class of 2020, we have been faced with lots of challenges this year, but this is nothing new for our class. We have taken the hardships we have faced and turned them into achievements by working together. As we progress into our future, we are going to face adversity, success, and unknown opportunities. Over the years, we have had numerous state honors in football, basketball, band, and drama. I have no doubts that the 16 of us are going to change the world in unique ways that will help change the world for the better. Without the support and love of our small community, we would not stand where we stand today, and we thank you for all the things that you have done for this community. Before I close, I want to share something said by Rocky Balboa. It is not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. And there's no doubt in my mind that this class standing behind me has lived up to that quote. Without further ado, it is my honor to welcome you to the West Yellowstone 2020 graduation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sammy. And now it is my pleasure to introduce one of our 2020 co-salutatorians, Miss Julia Everest.
It's on. Is it close? Can you give her yours, Kevin? Go ahead, one more time.
Hello? Okay, there we go. Okay, well, let me begin by saying how great it is to be standing and giving this speech to everyone here. I'm so grateful that I don't have to give it virtually. Anyway, I guess it is not too surprising that the start of my speech is about change. We have certainly seen a lot of change recently, and I know that everyone on this stage is going to have to deal with more change very soon. Whether it be college or some other step towards our future, we are all leaving behind West Yellowstone and the familiarity that comes with it. Maybe things won't go as we planned, but my hope for this class is that we accept these unpredictable situations and that we don't forget to be excited in spite of them. When I first moved here, I had a hard time accepting that things here were not going to be the same as they were in Kansas. Now, West Yellowstone is so amazing and significant to me. I've made so many good friends and have so many great adventures and memories here. I'm grateful to have moved, and I accept that change had to be a part of this new chapter in my life. I know that the future for me and everyone in this class is filled with uncertainties and struggles, but I also know that it holds a lot of opportunity and excitement as well. There's a quote by Tad Williams that goes, "He who is certain he knows the end of things when he is only just beginning is either extremely wise or extremely foolish." No matter which is true, he is certainly an unhappy man, for he has put a knife in the heart of wonder. Often I wish I could know how my life is going to play out, or even just how college will end up. But the truth is, I have no idea what is going to happen next, and even though I'm scared, I'm also excited. I'm excited to experience all these new changes and these new adventures, and I suspect my classmates feel the same way. And I think that it is important that we hold on to this excitement and the wonder and let go of the worry, and we step into our futures with boldness and confidence, recognizing that we have achieved even more in our futures, even if they are full of change and uncertainties. Soon we will be stepping off this stage and moving into a new future. So let me conclude with these encouraging thoughts for each of us and everyone here. I challenge you to be amazing, to be brilliant, to be crazy, daring, and fun. Be good-hearted and humble. Be impressive, joyful, kind, loving, moving. Be nice. Be original. Be punctual, random, spontaneous. Be thankful. Be unique, vivacious. Be watchful. Be extravagant. And be yourself. Thank you.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce you to our other co-salutatorian for the class of 2020, Mr. Mac Hauk.
Thank you, Mr. Flanagan, and thank you guys all for being here. First of all, I'd much rather be on that field again, so if any of you want to trade me spots, I'd probably take you up on it. I also feel like I should explain why you guys are having to sit in the grass instead of being on those very comfortable bleachers in the gym. The real reason we're out here is because the class of 2020 has almost perfectly executed the best senior prank of all time. Senior pranks haven't been as popular as they once were, but I think that we brought it back and set the bar pretty high with this coronavirus thing. I say almost executed it perfectly because this prank did backfire on us and left seniors everywhere without the end of what was supposed to be the most memorable year of their lives, up to this point. We were one of the lucky ones who still got a pretty regular ceremony. Because of the struggle that all this has brought on us and that we've all had to deal with, I thought it'd be appropriate to insert a Kobe quote. So he said, "There is no I in team, but there is an ME." I'm just kidding. He also said, "Everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise." And I think our class specifically exemplifies that. Not just recently with losing some of our senior year, but in every situation that has led us up to this point. Many of you know that I'm more comfortable when sports are in the picture, so we're going to stick with that. For starters, who'd have thought that 16 kids who have only played 6-man football could go out and win an 8-man conference championship? Or the girls knocking off Manhattan Christian, not 1 but 2 years in a row, to become district championship.
Woo!
It really is mind-blowing to me, probably just as much to you, who have witnessed the boys basketball dig ourselves into a 20-point hole and then somehow manage to scrape out a win. And I've definitely lost count of track and cross country state championships by now, along with the drama team and band that compete and beat the B schools. This group has done a lot throughout our time here, and especially in the last 4 years. I've heard that you don't really keep in touch with a lot of your friends from high school, but I don't think that will be the case. There's no way I can forget some of the memories made. Some of the things that you guys have done are wired into my brain, and I'm sure into some of yours too. Here's a story that Miss Wilson told us on the first day of school a couple of years ago. There was a man in the desert, and one day he came across a very big pile of rocks. They were pretty ordinary, but he felt that he should pick some up and put them in his pockets. The next morning, he wakes up and the rocks had turned to diamonds. Obviously, he was pretty upset and wished that he would have grabbed more. He went back to the pile and it was gone. And now I know that all of our teachers will take this and say that the rocks represent our education, and we should have picked up as much as we can while we still had the chance, even if it didn't look like diamonds. However, Mr. Ross would agree that this poem has many interpretations to it. So So the way I see it is you guys are, all of you, the guy in the story walking through the desert. And this sign right here explains the way I see it perfectly. We are the rocks. One day you took a gamble and decided to pick us up and put us in your pocket. You came to our games and meets and spent lots of money on fundraisers, especially dodgeball, which we have won for 3 years in a row. Your support has been what's helped us get through and come out on top of the challenges we faced. After all, challenges are what make or break us. Iron sharpens iron. Even though our lives are still getting started, these trials have shaped us and have turned us into the very sharp group of diamonds that are up on the stage before you. Thank you.
And now, in lieu of the band performing, here is the senior class song, The Last Goodbye, performed by Billy Boyd.
Oh, no.
I saw the light fade from the sky on the right side. As the snowflakes cover my fallen brothers, I will say this last goodbye. Night is now falling. So is this day. The road is now calling, and I must away over hill and under tree, through lands where never light is shone by silver streams that run down to the sea. Under clouds, beneath the stars, over snow on winter's morn, I turn at last to paths that lead home. And though where the road then takes me, I cannot tell. We came out this way, but now comes the day to bid you farewell. Many places I've been, many sorrows I've seen, but I don't regret, nor will I forget all who took that road with me. Night is now falling, so ends this day. The road is now calling, and I must away.
the pleasure of introducing our 2020 class valedictorian, Mr. Kyle Watt.
I am honored and humbled to stand before you all today. I extend gratitude on behalf of my class to the administration and teachers for our valued education, to the community for unwavering support in all that we've done these past few years. Most importantly, we thank our families. For what glory we achieve is owed to them, as they serve the most pivotal role in our upbringing. And personally, I want to express my profound gratitude to my classmates, whose collective character has encouraged me to pursue something bigger than myself. And the success I have now is owed to them. Thank you. We have accomplished a great deal in our time here. Astounding triumph in sports, landmark achievements in the arts, and academically. But it was by way of these accomplishments that we have restored a culture of excellence in our school, and I am proud to be part of that restoration. And to those who fought with us, in the name of our legacy, you share with us that glory, and we shall not shortly forget it. But it seems that for every triumph had, only heartache followed. Although we attained extraordinary feats, we fell short in achieving our highest goals. But perhaps it was never our destiny to achieve these high aspirations. Though our efforts yielded glorious results that surely no person could deny, it seemed that our success was only to be met by failure. But in the agonizing defeats we suffered, we turned our memory to the grandeur of the road we walked together. In that memory, we observed the most powerful improvement of our disposition as our shortcomings created within us a truer sense of integrity, humility, and kinship. That is what I would have us be remembered for, our success and our character, not our trials. Adversity does not define us. It only refines our character. For us to be remembered as the COVID class would belittle our accomplishments and mock our character. Should a legacy be defined by the attempts of the adversary? Would the achievements and character of its authors stand for nothing? Should not our ability to overcome affliction trump the catastrophic events in our lifetime? I plead that our legacy may not pass in the wake of this event, but may encompass all that we have done here. Most of our life, up until this point, has been occupied by our time at this school. And while much of that memory is composed of lectures, assignments, and passing time between classes, our memories hold much more. As I see it, our lives seem to be a living manifestation of Murphy's Law. Our story is one of poetics as we continually endure its excitement and its sorrow. We were children born in the aftermath of a tragedy. That one hallowed event would seemingly define the future hardships of our lives. Upon our arrival into grade school, there was tremendous economic downturn, causing the country much hardship. As we ascended into junior high, terror begat a new identity, born by the same ideology. Then in our days in high school, we saw acts of horror imposed upon children our age. We were raised in an age of terror, knowing calamity and hatred from a young age, with darkness as a constant companion. Now, just in 8 months or so, we have seen many terrible catastrophes. We have observed the desolation of a pandemic. We have witnessed as wickedness took a truly innocent child from us. And for some, we have lost those most dear to our heart. In these times, whatever light we pursue is followed closely by darkness. Yet if we continue to chase that light, these days will not be oppressed by that dark. I echo the words of Sir Winston Churchill, spoken over half a century ago, exclaiming, "Not less we praise in sterner days." Do not let us speak of darker days. Let us speak rather of sterner days. These are not dark days. These are great days, the greatest our country has ever lived. And we should all feel honored to be a part of them. We were not given the option to live a sheltered life, and for that I am grateful. These abhorring times have created children of a new age, born to be resilient, imaginative, and faithful beyond doubt. There is no question as to whether we will face tribulation, but when adversity should descend upon us, we will not give in. We must gather our wits about us, and with a loud voice cry out, "Rejoice, O my heart, enemy of my soul." For my heart is home to a light of infinite greatness, one which would never cease nor dim. I wish to impart a message to my class. However, I feel myself inadequate to deliver one of notability. Thus, I will leave with you the words of Rudyard Kipling by way of his poem, If. I know my class is probably rolling their eyes behind me at the thought of hearing a poem, as it's not really their idea of enjoyment. Despite that, I hope that this message may reside with you. This is the message, quote, "If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings and lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you,
We would like to pause
we are with you. Again, I start again. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. If you can take but one portion of that message and live it to its fullest, you can look back upon your life knowing that you have achieved greatness. This I can promise you. I can impart no more wisdom to my class, as I'm sure they're tired of hearing it. But I wish to leave with you one last message. The advent of this class into high school was awaited with ecstatic anticipation. We were as the sun, bringing an end to the night. Before we were freshmen, our light began to fill the world, returning a long-forgotten joy. And as we rose above the horizon, the brilliance of this class shone upon all those who witnessed it. Our day was long, full of excitement, friendship, and love, for our light is one of infinite greatness. Though in the minutes of our day, immense hardship was had. Many of you lived an entire lifetime of heartache in a single minute. Yet they were only that, a moment of struggle that only made us appreciate the beauty of the day even more. Now as we depart, our day is coming to an end, and our light will rise in a new part of the world. As our light descends from this town, bringing about the night, I plead with those who will follow in our stead. To the students of the school, my dear friends, I address my plea. Do not let the school dwindle in a culture of mediocrity, for it had long plagued this community before us. Rather, hasten the night and darkness of our absence, and bring about a new dawn that will shine a great light over this town once again. I have long loved the film Secondhand Lions. In it, a speech is given that I feel I must repeat here as my parting words. I took the liberty to make small alterations, changing the word truth to fact, and the word man to person, as they are truthful principles for all to believe in. Quote, if you want to believe in something, believe in it. Just because something isn't fact doesn't mean you can't believe in it. Sometimes the things that may or may not be fact are the things a person needs to believe in the most. That people are basically good. That courage, honor, and virtue mean everything. That power and money and power mean nothing. That good always triumphs over evil. And I want you to remember this, that love, true love, never dies. Do you remember that? Whether they're fact or not, those are the things a person should believe in the most, because those are the things worth believing in, close quote. I am grateful to have lived in this sacred place, and to be part of this class. My heart will always belong with the town and its people. To my family, I love you dearly. And to my class, I extend that same love. May God bless and keep you all. Thank you.
Well, when I read Kyle's speech ahead of time, I almost changed the order so I didn't have to go after him. I knew it was good, but I didn't know it was going to knock someone out either. So, great job, Mr. Wild. Let's give him another round of applause. It's always an honor to speak at graduation, and this year is no different. I'm also honored this year to share this privilege with Mr. Smith. We've got a lot in common with this year's class. We all started this journey together 13 years ago. The seniors, they were starting their first day of kindergarten, and we were starting our first day of teaching. For the last 13 years, we've been in school together with all the highs and lows that come with that. I remember pinning our athletic hopes on this class back when they were on the playground in 4th grade, and now I get to walk off the stage with them. I also have something else in common with 10 of these kids. Matthew, Sam, Jackson, Matt, Avery, Shane, Miguel, Herm, Kyle, and Parker. They all went K-12 here in West, just like I did. And I think that's the most kids I can ever remember in one graduating class. Then Julia, Becca, Donna, and Micah joined them in 6th grade. Jake came along in 9th, and they welcomed Oscar to the class in 10th grade. So these kids have been together longer than most. And that's why they seem a lot like a family. A little dysfunctional at times, but when push comes to shove, they know they're all here for one another. That has come in handy during this unprecedented time. Often during times of adversity, we ask ourselves why? Why me? Why us? Why now? Well, I believe the answer to that why is because you can handle it. This class could handle this situation better than most. You persevered and rose above. We learn much more about ourselves during times of struggle than when we do when things are easy. Anyone can keep a positive attitude when things are going well, but when things get tough, that's when we really see what we're made of. Working through challenges and getting out of our comfort zone is how we grow and become better people. So seniors, you've already won by getting here. You've had an end-of-the-year experience like no one else ever has. Instead of focusing on negatives, always try to look at the positives in life. In the last several weeks, I came across a couple of quotes that I thought captured this sentiment. From author Asha Tyson. Your journey has molded you for the greater good. It was exactly what it needed to be. Don't think you've lost time. It took each and every situation you have encountered to bring you to the now, and now is right on time. And then this is from author Paulo Coelho's Fifth Mountain. There are moments when troubles enter our lives, and we can do nothing to avoid them. But they are there for a reason, and only when we have overcome them will we understand why they were there. So again, seniors, so much of life is about perspective. The way you view situations has a powerful impact on your future. If you look at difficulties as roadblocks instead of opportunities to grow, you may never take that next step. So embrace be the best you can be. And now, since Mr. Smith and I know these kids quite well, we're going to share a few words about each one. Matthew, you're the first graduate that I've literally known since you were a baby. It's been awesome to watch you excel on the field, the court, and the track over these years, and turn into the fine young man we see now.
Matthew, talk about an athlete. I've watched the evolution of his jumping for years now, and have finally witnessed the dunk after all that culmination and all that work in the gym. Unbelievable explosion. He's evolved as an athlete in many sports, and I was looking forward to see what he was going to do in track this year, because it was going to be something special. We didn't get to have that happen, but if any of you recall, there's a lot of our people mentioned out here on that football field. It was that Absorki game. Matthew pulled down one heck of a one-handed pick right out there on that field, and that was something to watch. But Sammy, kind, sincere, family-oriented, intense, polite, all Sam Coffin. They just wrapped up a game out here, win, of course, and Sammy came up to me, and as all the athletes do, they come and say thank you for coming to the game. And that's something great that the football team does and all the other teams do. And I said, great game, Sammy. Played well out there. And he looked right at me. He goes, thanks, Smitty. All right. Luckily, he picked that one up. I think maybe just a week before we were out on the lake, and I was watching him in another boat just outfish me. So he was in the heat of the moment after a win, but I liked it, Sam.
Sam, just like your Uncle Ben, you were one of the fiercest competitors on the court and on the field, and one of the nicest guys out there. Julia, when I think of Julia, all I can think is, man, she must be tired. She runs cross country in the fall, competes on the Nordic ski team in the winter, and then runs track in the spring, focusing on the mile and the 2 mile. But I guess she's not too tired, since she'll be doing the same thing in college next year.
Julia. I think I got 4 words in 4 years from Miss Julia in the hallways. She quietly went about her business, but being in classes and observing, I got to see her through her words on paper and through her artwork. Dedication is defined by Julia. She never stops running, skiing, and working. Congratulations, Julia. Becca, the Leota Lightning. Calm under pressure, making some big buckets in this year and hoops, and serving it up on the volleyball court. Another one that was going to have a fantastic track season. To listen next year and tune into the Lady Pioneers to listen to your games. Congratulations.
Becca, I agree with Mr. Smith. Great athlete, great student. It was a pleasure to coach you in the high jump. And I think it's no surprise that you're going out to play college ball next year. Jackson. Where is Mr. Jackson? Jackson's got political aspirations. And I think growing up as the only boy with 3 strong-willed, opinionated older sisters has set him up well for that. And since I see them all here supporting him today, he must do a pretty good job of getting along with everyone.
Mr. Gaspadera. As you can see, this is kind of an Abbott and Costello thing. There's partial roast and partial congratulation, but Jackson is the only student that I have gotten both barrels from to my school. You know what I'm talking about. It was a joke, of course. He was having a good day that day. However, I would bug Jackson every hunting season about blood on the ground every day if he was out there during hunting season. And it seemed like every day I did that, Jackson was a true Montanan. He never divulged one clue of where the big fish are and where the big game are at. Well done, Jackson. And if anybody knows where No Seam Creek is, please let me know. I'm still looking. Mac. There is a reason Tom Brady is the GOAT of football, which is hard for me to say as a Raider fan. Mac certainly follows a person after his own heart. The composure, the grit, the mind, always calculating. Tom Brady has it, Mac Houck has it. We'll always remember that Joliet game, Mac, and you showed the heart of a champion and the epitome of perseverance coming back. Well done, Mac.
Mac, I always thought you made everything seem so effortless on the field and on the court. And you always seem to be calm, cool, and collected. That should serve you well in life. Jake. Jake's a rather quiet kid. He was a great office TA for us this year. But I also know he has a fire burning inside of him. What else explains his desire to keep getting on the back of a 1,500-pound bull that wants to knock him off? Including this morning.
Cowboy up, Jake from State Farm. Talk about the greatest Halloween costume ever. He nailed that one. I was so proud of Jake sticking with football and working every day up in the weight room lifting. He made some great gains, and it's going to prove him well. Quiet confidence. His work ethic reminds me of those old cowboys like Chris Ledoux and Lane Frost. Smiles when needed, but all business about his work. I'm warning all those buckle bunnies out there to watch out for Jake Mann in the future.
Oh.
Donna. Smiles every day, and she's smiling right now. And she's so grateful for all that she has worked so hard for. Pretty easy choice for Miles City Community College to sign her.
Whether she's spinning and dealing dimes on the court or watching for her little brother Evan after school to get him where he's supposed to go. Donna cares about those around her and excels in what she does. And I'm sure Mrs. McBurney out there would also echo that sentiment.
Donna, I still remember the shy little sixth grader who didn't speak any English, and now she's thrived on the court and in the classroom and is going to go play ball in college. A true success story. Avery. She's another kid who makes me tired just watching her. She had some big shoes to fill and legacy to follow when it came to distance racing in Montana. But she lived up to that legacy and created her own, all while showing the same grace and humility of her older sister.
You're going to get a lot of the same here, Avery. The Parkers. While I was at Twin, I made the mistake of leaving for a little bit and then finally got back. They were doing pretty well in track, but they always struggled in distance, and they'd always say, man, if we could get that Parker girl over here. And I was talking about Bailey. I said, wait for the younger one. She's going to be just as good. I wasn't wrong, and although she didn't get to defend again, I'm sure it was in the bag for you, Avery. We also have a Raider connection, and I'm heading down in November. I kind of made her a little bit jealous. I think I'm going down to watch a game in November. But while you're up at Tech running, remember Al Davis and the Raiders motto? Just win, baby. Oscar, here we go. Oscar, vino a nosotros a finales de su segundo año de secundaria. Mucha confusión para comenzar e hicimos ajustes. Ahora, Oscar se está preparando para graduarse en una ruta diferente y también tenemos algo en común. Nos llevamos bien con nuestros gustos similares en la música latina de metal. Y Oscar tiene un secreto. Le encanta cocinar y es muy bueno. Así que hagan sus pedidos con él mientras puedan.
Oscar. Sí lo que digo. That's what, same as he said. Mr. Shane. A few years ago, Shane had a series of misfortunate events that put him in a cast as well as a wheelchair for a time. Instead of milking the situation like most kids and maybe getting out of some requirements, Shane just figured out a way to make things work, including having his dad hold his tuba while he performed at the State Musical Festival, which he earned a superior for.
Shane. I wanted to go with that route too, but I always loved watching Shane when he always has that lovable, laughable character at all the dramas he's in and always makes those wonderful entrances in his plays that he was in. Again, with the solo ensemble and the tuba, anytime I hear a tuba, see a tuba, the first image in my mind, Shane Pfeiffer. He is the man on that thing. He's going up to study at MSU. I'm guessing he's going to play some tuba up there. And I wouldn't be surprised right now, watch out, if he doesn't have one already, he might be the one that has that nice tuba tattoo on the bicep right here. Micah, the milkman. I'm kidding, it's the mailman, right? Hopefully you watched that Jordan documentary, right? What did Scottie Pippen say during that? The mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays. He didn't, they went down. But what a personality. From his unique socks, which he's got rolling right now, of course, to the constant removal of his hat in school, to lighting up the ski trails and opposing offenses, and how now he's going to move on and he's going to light up his future. Congrats, Micah.
I also had the pleasure to coach Micah in the high jump. And remember, Micah, the two most important things in the high jump: don't hit the standards and don't miss the mat. Miguel, I'm going to miss watching you deliver the blows in football. And I'm not talking about when you were on defense, but when you were running the ball. I loved watching you lower your shoulder into an unsuspecting defender and just keep on going. And usually that was the last time that defender tried to solo tackle you.
Again, Miguel, I witnessed many opposing players walk on this field early before games thinking that they were going to put a lick on number 55. I then watched many opposing players limp off this field regretting getting in the way of number 55. I was also the one that delivered the bags of ice to them after the game for their long victory bus ride home. After encountering Miguel and our boys here, I have a story about this. Miguel likes to tease me about something I'm lacking up here follically wise. I spoke with his mother, however, and she told me about his father, her father, and he seems to have a bit of a recession happening up there in the old hairline also. So, Miguel, I wish you well, buddy. I told you I'd get you. Herm. Boyo. The only thing as quick as Herm getting to launch a three or bust off the line when the center gets the ball thrown to him is his mouth. He's funny, quick-witted, and cool on a clapback. His quick thinking and fast talking will take him far in life if he uses his power for good. Herm, you're going to be the center of attention wherever your journey takes you. You draw people to you. If it's the military, however, you better work on your timing a little and that little voice in your head that says, nah, I probably shouldn't say that right now.
Herm, you're the last of your family to graduate, and just like his older brothers and sister, a very tough competitor on the field and on the court. And hopefully one day, buddy, we'll get to celebrate a giant Super Bowl together. Kyle. Kyle's a natural-born leader, someone who not only leads by example, but also will lend his voice when needed. A compassionate and caring student who is also a terrific competitor, the true embodiment of a Wolverine.
Kyle Watt, senior leader. I can't count how many times Kyle has come through for his class and for the school. Truly a pleasure to be around. A two-time student body president, reliable. He was a principal's award winner last year. True Wolverine. Tons of great things about Kyle as a student and an athlete, but I want to point out a little bit lesser known one from Kyle that I witnessed last year during the basketball game versus Gardner. Coach moved him to defend their best player during that game against Gardner this year. Kyle bulldogged that kid all game and really changed the game. Kyle adjusted, he filled a role, and gave his teams chances to succeed by being himself. Just like he plans to do, a team player, he's going to be a part of something bigger. Parker. Jealousy. I'm jealous of Parker. Did you see his tan today? Yeah. Very jealous. But I'm also jealous of him because he would have the best pictures of his hunting adventures that just put me to shame and probably was the nail in the coffin of my big game hunting forever. Thank you, Parker. You took something I thought I loved and you buried it. But jokes aside, a little known trivia fact about Mr. Young here. I have given the commencement speech at all of the Young's children's graduation. So thank you, and if there's no more Youngs, there's no more commencement speeches for me. So thank you all seniors for this opportunity to speak at yours again. I am truly honored by that.
Parker. Another kid, as like Mr. Smith said, the last of his family to graduate. And just like his older siblings, he always seemed calm under pressure. And I always thought Parker had just this understated coolness about him. And I don't think you'll ever lose that. And now, again, thank you seniors for letting me speak here on my last graduation as well. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Smith to finish the speech off.
As Mr. Flanagan said, it is an honor to be selected by the senior class to be in this position to speak. There were plenty of options for them. I also have to say kudos to the senior class for selecting Mr. Flanagan, also, as he has put in as many years here as anyone, and he will be missed going forward. These young men and women were my very first kindergarten class, and I had them for years. I also had a lot more hair back then also, which isn't true. Let's get back to this class now, and a few things we've been talking about and working on over the 4 years I've been their high school principal, which is character and the traits that will make them successful.
This class has exhibited all of the traits we've covered, and a great one to start with is grit. Where to start on this class for grit? They have shown grit in changing teachers, managing online courses due to COVID, moving up a class in football, battling on the courts in basketball for years, and progressing and setting the tone for what is to come, overcoming injuries, and still moving on when major high school life events like prom and spring activities were canceled. This class was born of grit and will continue to set them apart from others in their next chapter of their lives. The next one we talk about is zest. Zest is that love of life. Look at this class. Look at the variety of activities they participate in. Athletics, all of our sports are represented. Music, drama, student government, clubs. Their participation has been phenomenal in all aspects of the school. In some cases, it dies heading into their senior year, but not with this one. The amount of time they've spent outside of school honing their skills and working on their passions demonstrates a zest for life and activities that will build them into wonderful adults. Social intelligence. You guys are all remembering these, right? This is the one where we can look at another person around you and know what and how they are thinking. This class could feel that about each other. They knew when each other were having a bad day and needed a little pick-me-up. There was not an incident between them that blew up and caused conflict between them. As was mentioned before, 10 of them have been here since K, and they've grown with each other and developed that sense they have that sense of when to push buttons and when to back off. Having this trait will serve you well in your future, as it has here in school. Self-control. Self-control. Knowing when to say something and when not to. Timing on jokes. Holding off on commenting during a discussion. The place for appropriate words. Actually raising your hand to answer rather than blurt. How do you guys feel about this one? Nailed it? Alright, I don't have to go too deep on this one, but if your parents want me to elaborate more on that, we can speak later. But actually, this class is pretty solid on this for the most part. Better than classes past. I'm going to say a majority of you have this, and it will help you immensely in life. For the rest, remember, the last part of the brain to develop is that frontal lobe that controls reasoning and judgment. So keep a helmet handy and nearby at all times. Keep that part safe for a few more years. As mentioned before, look at the depth and rigor of some of our class of 2020 explored this year. As evidenced in our awards assembly on Thursday, the questions came in a flurry in classes. That thirst for more knowledge is strong in this class, which is needed now more than ever in their lifetimes. A Harry Lorraine quote, "Curiosity may have killed the cat, but where human beings are concerned, the only thing a healthy curiosity can kill is ignorance." Replace your fear of the unknown with curiosity. Gratitude. I have been directing these traits at these students and pointing out how they have them and how they express them. This one is mine though. I am grateful that I am the one here and here for 4 years that witnessed this growth of this class. I am grateful for this class. I am proud of all their accomplishments academically and in your lives. I am also grateful for all of you parents out there that get to witness this momentous occasion in your child's life and that's caring, loving, and teaching adults in their lives. Thank you to you for making my job easy, and I will never take for granted the time and energy you all, students, parents, staff, and community, put in over the years. Last one, optimism. Out of all the traits listed, this is the one we have to lean on a little more now. After Kyle's epic speech, I needed optimism to actually come up here and go on and give my speech, because I knew it wasn't going to be a millionth as good as his was. We should all be optimistic for this class. They have given us a glimpse of what can be for them. Most of the grads before us are convinced they will conquer the world. Some will. To all the class of 2020, everything that happens now is new. College, jobs, relationships, all new and full of potential. The best thing about this time is you have not had a bad experience yet that has to do with real life. You will succeed and you will fail a lot. However, this class has the traits to help you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and jump back into the good fight. Every English teacher will tell you not to end on a quote. No offense, Mr. Russ, but I never really believed all my teachers told me. So here are a few. You guys can pick one you can relate to. High school is a lot like toilet paper. You only miss it when it's gone. To be the best, you have to do things that others are unwilling to do. That's a Joe Madden.
This is a Mitch Hedberg. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask them where they are, where they're going, and hook up with them later. Another Joe Madden, don't ever let the pressure exceed the pleasure. And no one can go back and make a brand new start. Anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Thank you, class of 2020. Go Wolverines.
All right. And now we're going to be moving on to scholarships and awards. And first up will be Mr. Smith giving out the Michael Keith Award and the Dutch Spainhauer Award.
Yeah, we're not actually going to be handing these out there in packets that the students that receive them will pick up and be handed to you by Mr. Flanagan at the end. So once you hear your name, just go ahead and stand up as we talked about yesterday in rehearsal. The first one, the Michael Keith Award. This certificate is awarded to a West Yellowstone School senior male athlete who participates in all 3 seasons, exhibits the highest level of sportsmanship, commitment to his teams and sports, and appreciation of the school and community's role in the success as an athlete. This is voted on by our coaches, and the Michael Keith Award winner for the 2020 class is Mr. Kyle Watt. Congratulations, Kyle. The Dutch Spainhauer Award is also this certificate. It's awarded by West Yellowstone School to the senior female athlete who participates in all 3 seasons, exhibits the highest level of sportsmanship, commitment to her teams and sports, and the appreciation of the school and community's role in her success as an athlete. And the 2020 winner of the Dutch Spainhauer Award is Miss Avery Parker. Congratulations, Avery and Kyle.
And now we'd like to bring up Mr. Watt, our 2-time Student Council President, to talk about the Worthy Student Scholarship that the Student Council gives out.
Thank you, Mr. Flanagan. I want to say a quick word about the Worthy Student Scholarship. It is awarded by the Student Council to a senior who fills out an application explaining what their aspirations are for their future. Every year, we vote on it to determine who the student body feels deserves this award. And this year, it is my great honor and privilege to award this to my cousin and my friend, Mr. Samuel Coffin. Often at this time, the key to the school is awarded to the next student body president. As this senior leaves, another would take its place. But given the current environment, I cannot pass this key on to another president. But I feel that it is important that I don't, because this key does not belong to me or any single president, but it belongs to this school. It belongs to the student body. For with them, great power is held that is only limited by their potential and their willingness to serve. Thus, I would like to give this key to its rightful owner, to the school.
All right, some more awards right now. We now have the Fall River Scholarship. There are 4 of those, and students receiving those this year for the Fall River Scholarship: Mr. Mac Houck, Sam Coffin, Julia Everest, and Kyle Watt.
It's now my honor to present the Rochelle Seeley Burns Scholarship. And I'm going to read the words on this plaque first before I say who has won it. Congratulations. You have been chosen to be the recipient of the $1,000 scholarship to be used at the school of your choice. The Seeley Burns family have been joined by many people who donated to the scholarship fund in honor of Rochelle. We now pass that honor on to you as you prepare for the challenging but rewarding life which lies ahead of you. Life itself is precious. Cherish it. Life is a gift of God. Give of yourself in return. Life is to be enjoyed. Be happy. Life is to be productive. Magnify your talents and make a difference. May you be successful in all you do and help others along the way. And this year's Rochelle Seeley Burns Scholarship winner is Miss Donna Santoyo Ochoa. Ochoa Santoyo, sorry.
The next scholarship is given out, and it's my honor to give this one out. It's the Romano Family Scholarship. I don't have the words and the award right here to read. However, I'm just going to announce the winner of that scholarship and honor the Romano family. And the Romano Family Scholarship goes to Mr. Sam Coffin.
Next is the Bob Johnson Scholarship. And the Johnson family was able to give out 2 scholarships this year. They felt there were 2 worthy applicants. Well, more than 2 worthy, but 2 that earned it. And here's a little something about Bob Johnson. He graduated from West Yellowstone High School in 1971. He was extremely proud to call himself a Wolverine. That and the pride he had in being a resident of West Yellowstone were the 2 of the most important attributes that defined his character. I'd like to thank Bob's mother, Bernadine, as well as Bob's brother, Jerry, and his wife, Jackie, for donating to this scholarship. And the 2 winners for the Bob Johnson Scholarship this year are Matthew Burden and Mac Houck.
The next scholarship to be given is the West Yellowstone Education Association Golden Apple Scholarship. And the winner of the Golden Apple Scholarship is Mr. Mac Houck.
All right, and now it's time to give out the West Yellowstone Foundation scholarships. And here's a little note from the foundation. Congratulations, West Yellowstone High School graduates, and your parents too. Thank you to the Board of Education members, to Superintendent Flanagan and Principal Brian Smith. Since 2004, the West Yellowstone Foundation has provided over $763,000 to 129 students in awards and scholarships for our West Yellowstone High School graduates. These monies come from very generous individual local donors, founders Arnie and Steffi Siegel, the Cross Charitable Foundation, the Pova Families, and Ventures West. Without this community effort, we could not be able to offer these awards. Thank you to all of those who helped you. This year, we are proud to announce scholarships in the amount of $5,000 for their first year of higher education to the following students. You will also be additional monies up to a total of $20,000 towards your college education. These monies were made possible by the West Yellowstone Foundation Endowment, monies donated by the Siegel family, the Cross Charitable Foundation, and many other individual donors. I'm just going to list all these names and then we'll do a round of applause at the end. Samuel Coffin, Julia Everest, Rebecca Everest, Jackson Gospodarek, Mac Houck. Go ahead and stay standing, guys. Jake Mann, Donna Ochoa, Avery Parker, Shane Pfeiffer, Micah Ross, Kyle Watt, and Parker Young. Give them a big round of applause.
Our next award is the Robinson Family Greatest Desire Award. A statement from the Robinson Family Greatest Honorees. We are proud to announce the recipients of the Robinson Family Greatest Desire Award in the amount of $1,000 This award is donated by the Lewis Robinson family and offered annually to one senior and one junior who have made impressive achievements during their high school careers, demonstrating personal goal setting, effort, and determination, which are not typically recognized by academic or athletic scholarships or awards. It is designed to provide students with a financial award that they may use as they choose to continue to pursue their goals. The senior award winner for the Robinson Family Greatest Desire Award is Mr. Shane Pfeiffer. And the Robinson Family Greatest Desire Award for a junior is Miss Ashlyn Roos. Nice eye.
And now it's time for the Sobalski and Siegel Families Book Award. This award is donated by the Dan Sobalski, Steffi Siegel, and Carrie Pope families, and this year is in the amount of $375 to assist 2 first-year college students with the cost of books. It was created to honor one of the founders of the West Yellowstone Foundation, Arnie Siegel, who lived life by his motto, take a little, give a little, leave a little, and we'll all have some. The students were asked to write an essay about what that statement means to them, and this year's recipients are Mr. Shane Pfeiffer and Mr. Kyle Watt.
Our next award for scholarship is from the West Yellowstone United Women Art Scholarship. Sorry, I had to make sure. The winner of the West Yellowstone United Women Art Scholarship is Miss Julia Everest.
And the winner of this year's West Yellowstone United Women Ruth Carsley Memorial Writing Scholarship is Rebecca Everest.
All right. Woo!
My last award here, this is the Whitman Lorenzen Family Scholarship. And this scholarship has been awarded to Mr. Jackson Gospodarek.
And the last scholarship to give out is the Pat Lilly Art Award. This award, in the amount of $430, is given to one student annually to recognize his or her interest and talent in the arts. The student explains school activities related to art, obtains 2 recommendations, one from a teacher, and explains outside activities that are art related and writes a short explanation on how the award money will be used. And this year's recipient is Miss Julia Everest. I always say this every year, but I think it just blows me away every year how much money that this town gives away to the seniors. It's just unbelievable. So let's give a round of applause to all the donors and all the scholarships. All right. I'm sure you are already out there in the hot sun. So we're going to get on to the finale here with awarding the diplomas. So our first graduating senior of the class of 2020 is Mr. Matthew Klatt Burden. Matthew plans on attending Lewis and Clark College in Lewiston, Idaho in the fall and running on their track and field team. Samuel Ethan Coffin. And seniors, you might want to face your parents. They might want to snap a picture of this too. So, Julia Ellen Everest. Oh, sorry, and I forgot to give Sam's plans. Sam plans on working through the fall and attend Montana State University in the spring and gray shirt for the Bobcat football team. He'll be majoring in construction engineering and technology. And Miss Julia will be attending St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota. She'll compete on the cross-country running team and Nordic ski team. And our next graduate is Rebecca Clary Everest. Becca plans on attending Miles City Community College and playing on the women's basketball team. Jackson Cone Gospodarek. Jackson will be attending Eastern Washington University to pursue a degree and career in political science. Mac Lee Hauk. Mac plans to work throughout the summer and then attend Montana Tech in the fall in pursuit of a construction management degree. Jake Travis Mann. Jake plans on serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Donna Valeria Ochoa Santoyo. Donna will be attending Miles City Community College to earn her associate's degree in accounting and play on the women's basketball team. Avery Carissa Parker. Avery plans on attending Montana Tech in the fall, studying business, and of course, running on the cross-country team. Oscar Antonio Perez Zampa. Oscar plans on working this next year while also improving his English, and then plans on enrolling in school to become an auto mechanic.
All right, Oscar.
Shane Matthew Pfeiffer. Shane will attend Montana State University Bozeman in the fall, majoring in computer science, and of course, minoring in music. Micah Eugene Ross. Micah will attend Utah State in the fall, majoring in landscape architecture. Miguel Angel Salinas. Miguel plans on working for a year and then attend Wyoming Tech and studying diesel technology. Herman Vasquez. Herm plans on either attending MSU Gallatin College, studying business management, or joining the armed service like his big brother. Kyle James Watt. Kyle plans on attending Montana Tech University in Butte with hopes of being accepted into the military or naval academy the following year. Kyle also plans to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Parker C. Parker plans on serving a 2-year religious mission after high school and then attend Utah State University, majoring in outdoor product design and minoring in entrepreneurship. And Board Chairman, Mr. Gospodarek, I present to you the graduating class of 2020.
Oh, it's just not playing. Yeah, it's coming.
Everybody sing.
The computer's got too hot.